Hi everyone, welcome to rachelpichleryoga. If we haven't met before, my name is Rachel. Today we're doing a yoga for flexibility practice that's going to focus on the hips and the glutes. So find just a little bit of space to move and let's get started. So we're going to begin today in butterflies. So you can just have a seat and bring the soles of your feet together and your knees out nice and wide. And if you feel like you're falling backwards, you can actually sit on something if you'd like. But I want you to bring your hands to your knees and find a nice long spine. So if you can't sit nice and tall, just slide your feet further away from you. Make your diamond, your butterfly a little bit bigger, because I want your spine nice and long. And then close your eyes if you haven't already. And take a nice big breath in and big breath out. And again, nice big inhale, maybe through your nose. And a nice big exhale. Awesome, you guys. Take one more nice big inhale, maybe lengthening your spine a little more. And exhale, soften the shoulders. Awesome, you guys. We're going to take just a few more moments here. If you want to tip forwards, you can tip forwards. If you want to keep breathing nice and deep, you can keep breathing nice and deep. Or you can kind of just let go of everything and just be. And start to feel the hips and the legs. Letting your shoulders soften, your upper body. Maybe it's getting a little heavier if you're tipping forwards. And just keep your eyes closed for a moment. Allow yourself just to connect with your breath. And just putting any thoughts on your mind off to the side. And allowing yourself to settle in. And just stay as you are with your eyes closed. Take another full breath. Inhale and exhale. And if you're tipping forward, just using the inhale to lift your upper body all the way back up. A nice long spine. And if your eyes are closed, you could start to open them if you want to. We're going to bring our hands to the outside of our knees and just help our knees come back together. Maybe giving yourself a little rock, a little wiggle. And then we're going to send our right leg out nice and long, and I want you to bring your left foot on top of your quad if you can, and you can stay here with that right leg out long. You might even add a little forward folds, or you can lean back a little bit, bend that right leg and plant that foot, and see if you can bring your left shin towards your chest. Maybe even flexing this left foot, being nice to that left knee. And if you want a little more, you could even scoot your hips a little bit closer towards that right foot and just keep your hands behind you for support. Finding that left glute, that left hip a little bit, maybe that entire left leg. Nice, you guys. So I'm going to give you the option to stay as you are. Your right leg could be straight. You could be kind of in the same position that I am seated. Or if you want to join me in double pigeon, the left leg is going to stay on top, but we're going to bend that right leg, that bottom leg, and just think about stacking your left foot on top of your right knee and your left knee on top of your right foot. So not sitting cross-legged, but having our shins parallel to one another. Take an inhale, lengthen your spine, maybe flexing both of the feet. And if you want to tip forwards, you can tip forwards, and you might really start to find that left glute. And if this is not for you, you just either keep that right leg out long or bending it and staying here for some support. But wherever you've decided to be, we're just going to take another maybe breath or two, or maybe 3. We're just trying to find that left glute and hip area. Awesome, you guys. And if you're folding forwards in any way, just use an inhale to lift back up, find that nice long spine. Start to kind of unwind the legs, whatever that's going to look like. You can give yourself a little hug or rock it out a little bit. We are going to switch sides, starting by sending the left leg out. The right foot resting on top of that quad if you can get it there. Staying here. Maybe tipping forwards a little. Maybe you want to lean back. Maybe you want to try all 3 variations like I am. Just kind of finding a little bit of a stretch in each position you go into. Deciding what feels best for you today. They all feel pretty good today for me. And if you want that double pigeon, just bring that bottom leg in. Try and stack your shins, stack your ankles and your knees on top of one another. Take an inhale, lengthen through the spine, and add a forward fold if you'd like. Wherever you happen to be, we're just going to stay for another breath or 2. Feel that nice glute stretch. And if you're folding forward, just start to use an inhale to bring your upper body up, unwinding the legs, giving yourself a hug or a little rock side to side. We're going to be coming over onto our hands and knees into tabletop. So whenever you're ready to do so, and I want to bring the right foot forwards and set up a lunge. So if you need some cushion for your back knee, just roll your mat over, untuck your toes though, those back toes, just rest on the top of your foot and sink into those hips. Find that left hip flexor and see if you can adjust to this front ankle so it's right underneath your knee and you're feeling that love through that left hip flexor. And soften your shoulders. Nice, you guys. Just here for a few breaths in this lunge. If you want to keep your hands down and your chest low, go for it. If you want to lift up for a few moments, relax your shoulders. Just feel the upper body get a little heavier. And if you want just a touch extra, keep your right hand on your knee and use an inhale to sweep that left arm and those fingertips up for the ceiling. Maybe even pulling the shoulders back just a little bit, but keep sinking into the hips. Awesome, you guys. If you're reaching up, one more inhale and use the exhale to gently come back down. Awesome, you guys. So adjust your back leg if you need to. If you need to stick something soft underneath your knee. We're going to stay in the lunge, but heel toe our foot over to the right side for our lizard. So bring your hands under your shoulders. On the inside of that right foot, I like to turn my toes out a little bit. Your knees kind of falling out to the side. You might feel this through the left hip flexor still. The right glute, that right leg might steal all the love. But just soften those hips. Breathe. Just here for a short moment. Awesome, you guys. Just when you start to get comfy, you're like, hey, I could stay here for 5 minutes. Just kidding. We're going to start to heel toe our front foot back to the middle of the mat. I want you just to regroup, reset up that lunge so that you're still getting that nice left hip flexor stretch. Awesome, you guys. And then let's heel toe our foot over to the left side, all the way over, and lay down the shin. So you can bring that front foot closer towards that left hip. Sink into those hips, finding your pigeon. Take an inhale, lift your chest. Maybe you can still feel that left hip flexor. Take an inhale though. And then if you want to tip forwards, just use the exhale to bring your chest down towards the mat. Nicely done, you guys. Soften those shoulders. Take a nice breath in and out. Finding that right glute. And letting your chest just be heavy. Nice. And let's stay for just a breath or two. So good. And when you're ready to move, just use the inhale to lift your upper body. If you were folding forwards, we're just going to push into our hands and find our tabletop. So our hands and our knees as gracefully as you can. Get back there. And it's probably going to feel good to take your hips for a little rock side to side. Or you could be still for a moment. Just notice the lovely, lovely sensations running through those hips, through the glutes, the legs, and anywhere else. And when you feel good, to set up your lunge on the other side. We'll bring our left foot forwards this time. So finding that right hip flexor, the top of that right quad. Untuck your back toes, just rest on the top of your foot. Maybe roll your mat over so your knee has some extra padding underneath of it. Awesome, you guys. And you can keep your hands down in your chest low. I feel my hip flexor here. Just sinking those hips forwards and down. Just kind of nice to move the upper body sometimes, but it's definitely not necessary to feel that right hip. So soften, relax your upper body wherever you're at. Breathe. Nice, you guys. And if your right arm is available, just use that inhale, reach it up. Maybe add just a tiny back bend. Staying for an inhale. And using the exhale to bring yourself down, and making any little adjustments to your lunge or taking a quick break. But I want you to try to find that right hip flexor, keeping that right hip flexor stretch, and then heel toe your foot over to that left side. Turn your toes out a little bit. Let your hips, they want to touch the ground below you. They're probably not going to. Just resting on your palms. And just here for a few short moments. So soften, feel those hips, that left glute and leg. Breathe. Awesome, you guys. And again, just as you start to settle in, we're moving. So heel toe your foot slowly back to the middle of the mat. Regroup, reset up that lunge, finding that right hip flexor. Might have to gently encourage those hips forwards a little bit. And then heel toe the foot over to the right side. Maybe sliding your heel close to that right hip. Maybe wiggling around just a little bit to find your center, finding that left glute. Taking an inhale, lift that chest. You can stay here. Or you can fold forwards as you exhale. Nice, you guys. Soften your shoulders wherever you are. Maybe close your eyes. Finding some stillness perhaps through your body. Just the breath. Nice job, you guys. When you're ready and you're folding, just use an inhale to lift your chest back up. Plant your hands as gracefully as you can. Lift back up onto your hands and knees. tabletop. And feel free to do a little rock slowly, side to side. And just kind of notice how those hips feel. Nice job, you guys. And you can slowly start to make your way down into a nice, comfy, seated position. If you want to come into butterfly, you can bring the soles of your feet together. If you just want to sit cross-legged, you can sit cross-legged. But bring your hands to your knees, close your eyes, take an inhale, lengthen your spine, and exhale. Let it all go. Take one more nice big breath in and out. Awesome, you guys. Bringing your hands together in front of your hearts. Keep your eyes closed. Soften those shoulders. That is it. That is all for today. I hope that you enjoyed the practice. You're feeling the love through those hips. And until next time, namaste.